everyone and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. This is my first ever upload, so I'm not the most experienced, but bear with me, I'll get better when I upload more. Anyway, as you'll have seen from the title, I am building a small modern eco home. I thought that for my first build that this would probably be the easiest, just because it's kind of my favourite style, and I think that anyone who knows me would say that this sort of style describes me best. I just started off with a simple structure. I actually looked on Pinterest at a couple of different options just to get inspiration, because sometimes it's good but then also sometimes it's bad, because if you try and follow a floor plan, anyone who has tried to do that will understand just how difficult it is, because you can't actually get things to scale. And usually on Pinterest you only see the front of the building anyway, so it's kind of good just to get a little bit of inspiration. I am loving the new swatches that you get in the Eco Lifestyle pack. They're just so cute, and I think that they go really well on the outside of buildings and also on the inside. I did get this pack the day it came out, but regrettably I've not actually spent that much time on it, so this is my first proper build. Because I'm actually currently working on doing my own file save. For those of you who don't know what a file save is, it is basically just where you renovate every single lot on The Sims 4, even community lots, and you fill in all the gaps, and you also make new townies and stuff as well. I'm just putting down a little kind of front porch area. I move the foundation up, but because I only move up once, there's no need for stairs. Sometimes I love stairs on the outside, but sometimes I feel like they can look a little bit clumsy. Up in the top there, I just put on move objects, which allows me to place them wherever I want. On Windows I think you use Alt for that, but I have a Mac and you have to hold down the Option button instead, just in case anyone who has a Mac hasn't been able to get that working, that'll be why. Yeah, so I do like this door. I actually think I change it later on, just because the only issue with it is that there's no windows, and especially in a modern build I love to absolutely fill my builds with windows. Moving on to the back now, when I'm doing my builds I quite like to place all the doors and windows first, just on the outside, especially at the front, because I feel like the front is the place that you want to look the best. The side doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, as you can see, that just looked awful from the side, so I decided to change it up a bit to make it look like another column. These windows from the Moschino stuff pack as well, I really love them. I think they're really modern and I think that they worked quite well with this build. You will see later on that I do actually get rid of some windows and I move them about, just because they didn't really go with the floor plan and what I wanted. But that happens to me all the time. Like here, I was wanting to put down a door thinking they could go out onto the balcony. I don't know, I feel like doors take up a lot of room, so I decided to put a ladder going up the side so that people could get onto the balcony that way. I think it has been a long time coming that we've been waiting for the ladders, but I'm not really sure how to utilise them all the time, so I thought I might as well. I live in Scotland, so it rains all the time here, but I think that for me I would love like a proper wee sofa bit to sit outside where it doesn't get wet all the time, because it's nice. I would like to sit in the weather, and I tried to shade it with trees so that hopefully if it did rain wherever they are, then they would be okay. So moving on to the landscaping, I did skip quite a lot of this just because it does take ages, especially placing down all these rocks. Again, for placing the rocks and the plants and stuff, I just hold down the Option or the Alt key and you can place it wherever. Same with sizing objects up. If you press the square brackets, they'll size it up and down, so you can make plants bigger or smaller, just depending on what you want. I like to size up the daisies quite a lot because they're quite sparse and tiny when they're just by themselves. So if you're looking for something to fill up spaces in your landscaping, then it's actually really quite good. As you can see on the side of the house, I have just put bushes kind of to act like fencing, to also give it a wee bit more privacy. Sometimes with a modern build I don't feel like the fences that we have really go with the exterior, especially on this one. But you'll see later on that I do find something that managed to make it work. Onto the floor plan now. And this was quite difficult because I wanted to be quite an open floor plan, but I always struggle with trying to find a place for a bathroom. I decided to put it right there just next to the door. If you're wondering why I've moved the stairs out of the build first, it's because sometimes I find it easier just to fiddle about with the different ways to have the stairs, because you can't always see it inside if you've got enclosed walls. As you can see, I decided to move the window a little bit because the stairs were clipping and coming through at the sides, which was really annoying me, but I'm happy with the way it looks as it doesn't seem to affect the interior or the exterior look that much. I also thought that because of the materials of the build, I thought that the exterior would be the same as the interior, apart from the extra walls that we put up, so like the bathroom walls, and as you can see here, the bedroom walls as well. They all get painted with a kind of, I think it's like a concrete kind of style, but it's really nice. And as well, I wanted a double ceiling over the stairs. I just think that looks really nice and grand in a way, especially for a small home. So yeah, I thought that would look really good next to the bedrooms. You'll see that I cut into one of the columns. I wouldn't usually do this on this type of build, but I thought that it looked like the perfect space for a cubby hole. I don't know what people would call it, just a little space to tuck something away in there, because I think in a build like this you do kind of have to tuck things into spaces just to keep as much open space as you can. As you can see, I do try that with a fridge, but I just thought it looked really weird, and personally I would have had the door handle on the other side, so you open the fridge the other way if I was keeping it in there, but you'll see in a second that I decide that I don't like it there at all. The counters I decided to go for are actually some of my favourite counters. They're from the base game, and it is a little bit frustrating that they only come in 3 swatches, but I just think that they're quite rustic but also still modern at the same time, and I think that they go with a lot of the sinks. Another issue I have though with these is the island counters. Because they have that thick strip of metal at the edge, it's quite difficult to try and get it to fit in, so I did have to work around that a wee bit, but I think it turned out okay. I think they go really well with the dark floors as well from Eco Lifestyle. I do love that hexagon style, but it just looks weird when it's painted all over. I think it'd be better in an enclosed space. So I just decorating, putting a wee bit of clutter in the kitchen. This again is quite a tedious thing, and I'm still not great at it, but it takes you a while. Another thing with these counters, I'm just saying I love them and now I'm moaning about them, but they don't actually have matching cupboards to go up above, so I usually do just go with shelving, or it depends how big the kitchen is. If the kitchen is massive, I will just put artwork on the walls, because I figured that there's enough space for you to keep plates and stuff in the worktop. And in the top there, I'm just putting on the debug items, because you get a lot of clutter items there that your Sims don't actually interact with, so you can put them anywhere and your Sims won't do anything with them. It's not as if they'll get in their way or something. It's literally just for display purposes. We're moving on to the living room now. My image for who lives in this house is like a single mum with a daughter who's maybe preteen, just like 9, 10 almost, and I feel like they have quite a simple living room, a few staple pieces, nothing too cluttered, because they have such a nice outdoor space, and I feel like they would really want to grow their own plants and stuff like that, so I just kept it quite simple. This rug I absolutely love, and again that was me just sizing up using the square brackets, because sometimes the rugs are just really tiny or they're actually too massive, and that's me realising as well that I didn't put in any lights, but I suppose it doesn't matter. This table is actually, well, it is a debug item from the Eco Lifestyle, but in Eco Lifestyle you can handcraft them and you only get like one swatch. You can't go searching through the swatches. That swatch is a single table by itself, But I just thought it was quite cute, and my image for this family is that they have a lot of handcrafted items and just cute little wee things to personalise their home. And those 3 flowers, I do really love them. I think they're so cute, and they fit in nicely under the stairs as well. You will see in a second that I regret my choice of doing light stairs. I thought that they looked really good, but as soon as I put down the dark floors, I realised that I wanted to change it. So I thought put up a big painting, and then I quickly changed the stairs to a dark brown, as you can see there. And now we're finally back to my little cubby hole. I'm going to stick with that. And I thought just a cute wee bookshelf to put in there, because I just think, well, your Sims need the bookshelves to entertain themselves, to learn and stuff. And I think that, again, that is from the Moschino stuff pack. And I just think it looks really nice and modern with everything else in the house. For the kids' room, I kept it quite generic. I know I did say a daughter, but I wanted it to be so that anyone could have this bedroom that you can't necessarily tell. I love green colours myself, so I thought a nice green table. And then I love this mirror, the kids' mirror. I think it's cute, and I put up some posters as well. Sometimes I don't actually like the kids' posters, but I think it's nice to have them, because when I was a kid I had heaps of posters all over my bedroom, so I think that this kid would like that too. And again, I hadn't decided on the age, so I put in a nightlight for those of you who have played Sims with kids, toddlers, and haven't put in a nightlight. It's the worst thing ever when they can't go back to sleep. So always remember to put in a nightlight, otherwise your Sim will never get any sleep. Both of the beds that I've used for the bedrooms, they're both eco lifestyle ones as well, and I actually think that they're really quite cute. There is one that kind of looks like denim, as if it was an old pair of repurposed jeans that they've sewn together, but that just didn't really fit the vibe. I don't think that this is a completely crafted home, but I did try to put in a few things. And that table as well from Island Living, I really love it, and I just think that it goes so well with the wood on the walls, as well as the little tea lights that I put on there as well. I like the colour that they give off, rather than being a bright white like the spotlights give off. I think it's so much nicer to have a kind of yellowy toned. You can see for a brief moment I tried to use the eco lifestyle doors with big metal. I just don't like how it's only metal on one side. It doesn't really work for me. I think it works as a door to outside. I don't think it works for room to room, but I haven't played around with them enough to really decide, and I'm sure that there's probably someone out there who has made a build where it works really well. So up top I thought I would do a little rooftop garden. Also, if you put grass on your roof now, it makes the neighbourhood greener, so it's actually quite good. And of course, solar panels. The planters that I've used, the weird looking ones, they're self-watering ones from the debug items, and I just think that that's really fun. If you were away, it would be so handy to have those, and I just think that it's really inventive, and they don't look too bad compared to some of the other things, so I just thought it'd be nice to add them on top. I so almost forgot about the bathroom, so here we are. Alright, that shower, I love it so much. I don't know what it is, the kind of subway vibes from it. I just really like it, and it comes in a load of nice swatches, and I just think that the gold bronzy kind of colour, it just looked really nice, and it sort of matches the star door handles. Also, that tiny living mirror, I love it, but it's just placed up too high. It just goes in such an awkward position, so I never use it. I've not actually tried moving it down, but it just frustrates me so much. So I think that I finished the inside now, and moving on to the outside, again, just a little landscaping. I used loads of bushes to kind of create fencing, and I used that fence on the side because I just feel like if I was sitting in the garden, I wouldn't really want people walking on the pavement and looking in. So I wanted something that just kind of hid away, but wasn't completely blocked off, because actually this lot has such a nice view of a lake. I don't know if you can see it if I'm moving too fast, but it's just really sweet, and I thought that rather than putting a fence, I would like to see that. I also decided to change the door last minute because I wanted one that let in more light, and I think this eco lifestyle door is really cute. But that is the end of my build. If you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more. This one's on the gallery for you to download. My ID is olivesimsx, and I'll see you next week.